So, you want to learn how to drive better in Mario Kart Tour? Well, you've come to the right video. So I'm gonna teach you how to drift properly in this game. Some people are often confused about what controls to use and how to actually drift properly. I'll teach you all of that in this short video. So first of all, you need to know about the controls. The main things you need to know is that you should always have manual drift on and gyro handling as well. So you should always have manual drift and gyro handling on. Auto item you should also turn off, especially if you're playing multiplayer online. Smart steering is something that is optional depending on your own preferences and feel. The reason we want manual drift on is because we can maximize the amount of turbos that we get, and thus we get more points and also we get more speed boost. But if you only have manual drift on and no gyro handling, then it's pretty hard to make adjustments on a straight. So gyro is mainly for minor adjustments, tilting your phone left and right, either on a straight or mid-corner while you're drifting. Auto item is something you want to turn off because it will discard all of your old items when you hit a new item box, and sometimes you don't want that because you want to hold on to, for example, a green shell to protect yourself from an oncoming red shell from someone behind. So turn that off, especially if you're playing online. So moving on, drifting. You need to know two main things: how to initiate the drift and how to adjust the drift mid-corner. So to initiate, you simply drag your finger towards the direction you want to turn and hold that finger on the screen. So if you want to turn left, you drag towards the left and hold it there. And in terms of adjustments, like I said before, you're adjusting with the gyro tilt and also the slide of your finger along the screen. So the more you move towards the edge, the more the kart turns, and vice versa. Initiation. If you initiate the drift early, you're gonna have to countersteer early as well. Countersteering means that you have to turn the opposite direction while drifting. So as you can see in this image on the left, Mario is turning right even though the corner is going left. So if you initiate the turn too early, you're gonna have to turn the opposite direction to make sure that he doesn't end up on the grass on the inside of the corner. On a late initiation, such as in the picture on the right, you will have to turn in towards the corner more, and that's the case usually in tight corners. Usually in the game you want to initiate drifts early, especially if you are more skillful. That's because then you can link drifts up and also have longer drifts that can give you more boost. After your initiation, you'll have to think about counter steering. So that will depend on the characteristics of that corner. If it's a shallow corner, the drift needs to be stretched out, and you'll have to counter steer to the opposite side. And also possibly you may have to tilt your phone as well to the opposite side. So on the left here, you see Penguin Mario, he's counter steering to the right because it's a shallow corner and I initiated early. The green arrow shows the tilt on my phone, and the red arrow shows my finger. So I'm all the way to the edge of the screen with my finger on the right, and I'm also tilting as much as I can to the right with my phone. This is so that I can stretch out the corner and not end up on the ice on the left. On a deep corner, in the image on the right for example, your finger will have to move to the inside of the corner, and your phone will have to tilt inwards towards the corner as well. So once again, red arrow for the finger and the green arrow for the phone tilting towards the left. If you don't do that, you end up hitting the barrier on the right. You end up hitting the barrier on the right and using that barrier as an object to help you turn, scraping along that wall. Turbos. So when you initiate a drift, you initially get dust, smoke, That doesn't give you a boost, but it does help you turn the corner because you're drifting. If you hold it long enough, it'll turn blue, and then orange, and then purple. I believe they're called Mini Turbo, Super Mini Turbo, and Ultra Mini Turbo. So a longer drift will give you more time to collect those boosts. And in order to get a longer drift, you want to initiate that drift earlier. Sometimes you want to initiate that drift even on the straight before that corner. If you're skillful enough, you can sometimes get boost on a straight line as well. It can be a bit difficult sometimes to get turbos, but I've found that countersteering sometimes help. So alternating between countersteering and not countersteering can sometimes help initiating the turbo, but that can be a bit temperamental, and it depends also on how long you've been holding that drift for. And sometimes, weirdly enough, turning inwards towards the corner also helps. So I'll show you some clips here. So as you can see here, I'm alternating left right, trying to get the sparks up, and as you can see, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So here I'm turning all the way to the left. You can see that turning into the corner can also sometimes help getting that boost. Once you've learned the skill of drifting, it doesn't really matter what kart you use, but the characteristics of each kart seems to vary. There's some karts that are easier to adjust mid-drift. So for example, countersteering is more sensitive. These are two that I find easier to use. But which kart you choose really depends on your skill and your preferences, and of course each kart has various abilities which you need to also consider. If you're playing online multiplayer, the abilities don't really matter too much, and it's more about what items you get. And that is it. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you learn how to drift, and I'll see you online. Like and subscribe.